I'm thinking of handing over the position of CEO to you. I had suspected something was up when my father called me back to Japan, and sure enough, it was a serious matter. His name was James Brown. He expanded the hotel he inherited from my grandfather across the country and even has branches overseas now. I've been working as the manager of one of those overseas hotels. But there's something I want you to do before you take on the CEO position. My father showed me a whistleblowing letter from an employee in the Dallas branch. I want you to investigate this and turn around the hotel in Dallas. I could feel the implication that this was a test to see if I had what it took to be a CEO. My secretary, Ms. Catherine, handed over the data on sales and ratings for the Dallas branch. The Dallas hotel is conveniently located near a train station and used to have a great reputation. However, not only have the sales been falling for the past few years, but the hotel's ratings aren't too good either. It would be easy to order an internal investigation, but I should probably go and see the situation with my own eyes. Understood. I will start the investigation right away. I told my father and turned to Ms. Catherine. Ms. Catherine, there's something I'd like to ask you. It seems like an exciting life is about to begin. Starting today, I'll be working here as a cleaner. My name is Johnson, nice to meet you all. Instead of my real name, Brown, I introduced myself as Johnson, and I had a professional makeup artist transform me into someone completely different. I appear older than I actually am, almost like an elderly man. Even my wife and daughter were shocked at my transformation, saying they wouldn't have recognized me if I hadn't told them. No one would guess that I'm the president's son. My name is Anderson, the manager here. I told HR we didn't need any more housekeepers. Well, this old man probably won't be of much use and will likely be fired soon. A middle-aged woman retorted to the manager's harsh words. Manager, we're desperately short of housekeepers right now. We're so busy we could use all the help we can get. Please hire more staff. The manager glared at the woman. That's because you're all slow. Get to work with some spirit. With that, he walked away as if the meeting was over. After a deep sigh, the woman turned to me. I'm the housekeeping manager, Roberts. Nice to meet you. Let me show you to the staff room. She led me to the staff room and gave me a uniform. Usually, we work in pairs to clean the guest rooms. Today, I'll be your partner and show you the cleaning checkpoints. There was no one else in the staff room at the moment. Is the manager always like that? I saw an opportunity and asked, but Ms. Roberts glanced at her wristwatch and hurried me in a rapid-fire tone. We have a lot to do, so please change quickly. It seemed that I would have to ask during break time. When I quickly changed and came out, Ms. Roberts, who had been checking her computer, stood up. We have some rooms that have already checked out, so let's start cleaning from there. Checkout is at 10 a.m., but many business people check out early in the morning. I followed Ms. Roberts into a guest room and we started changing linens, making beds, taking out trash, and cleaning up. If you keep dawdling like that, we'll never get done. Ms. Roberts was indeed quick and efficient at cleaning, and she kept pushing me, who was not used to it. Even when I thought I had cleaned well, make sure the mirror is completely spotless. She would immediately give me a strict check. As soon as we finished one room, there was no time to rest, and we moved on to the next room. I worked tirelessly, demanded to clean quickly and thoroughly. It's been years, no, decades since I've worked up such a sweat. Mr. Johnson, faster! Hurry up! Ms. Roberts is quite a tough taskmaster. Without a break, I moved from one cleaning task to another, finally getting a lunch break. As I sat down in the break room, fatigue hit me like a truck. Good job! Ms. Roberts placed a warm cup of tea in front of me. Mr. Johnson, did you bring lunch? When I answered that I hadn't, she handed me a sandwich. I bet you're surprised by how busy we are. I'm sorry, but we have to work at that speed to finish cleaning the rooms within our allotted time. I never imagined that the job of a housekeeper would be this challenging. When I was working as a hotel employee, I was at the front desk. Of course, I knew what a housekeeper did, but actually doing it was a different story. In the past, it wasn't as demanding. She said that there used to be more housekeepers, and they didn't have to rush to clean like this. But the manager cut costs by laying off a large number of housekeepers. As a result, the remaining housekeepers were left with a heavier burden and had to race against time. Not only that, but complaints about forgotten trash or hair left in the bathtub started to come in, leading to a decline in their work quality. Ms. Roberts took this situation very seriously and asked the manager to hire more housekeepers, but her request was not accepted. That's why it's a relief to have you join us, Mr. Johnson. It's tough, but please don't quit. She had a soft expression that seemed to contrast the person who was yelling at me earlier. Ms. Roberts, have you ever wanted to quit this job? I asked timidly. I actually enjoy the job and find it rewarding. But I'm scared that if I keep going like this, I might break down one day. I can't quit. As a single mom, I need to earn money for my daughter's tuition. She frowned and gave a troubled smile. I'd love to take my daughter to Hawaii if I ever won the lottery, but that's just a pipe dream. Ms. Roberts, who had been looking at her wristwatch, stood up. You still have 20 minutes, Mr. Johnson, so take it easy. I'm going to do some inspection rounds. Ms. Roberts left in a hurry. Inspection involves checking whether the rooms have been cleaned perfectly. Originally, inspectors are supposed to educate the room cleaners and correct any cleaning deficiencies, but it seems like Ms. Roberts is also doing room cleaning due to the lack of staff. Despite her title of manager, I began to worry if her salary is adequately compensating for her efforts. Even then, I continued to work as a housekeeper while investigating the manager. The front desk also seems to be understaffed, as I often see guests lining up. It seems that one of the reasons is that they are overwhelmed with responding to numerous complaints from the rooms. The smiles of the front desk staff and bellboys show signs of fatigue. This is probably due to the long hours of work, including night shifts. In such a state, it's impossible to offer genuine hospitality to the guests. This would inevitably reflect on the hotel's ratings. Furthermore, I found out that the hotel was still using old equipment and amenities, and some were broken and unusable. Despite the pleas to the manager, they would not purchase new ones. There's something I want you to investigate, if that's all right. I told Ms. Catherine over the phone one day after work. After reviewing the data received, I felt it was time to take action. I couldn't let the manager continue his way. During the morning meeting that day, the manager seemed tense. The new CEO is coming for an inspection tomorrow. If anything goes wrong, it'll affect my reputation, so everyone, work attentively. As I listened to the manager's words, I muttered to myself. Well, the inspection is already underway, I thought. Perhaps sensing my internal thoughts, the manager suddenly caught my eye. Don't leave a speck of dust, old man. He's a hopeless case. The following day, I donned a high-end suit and confidently stepped into the hotel entrance as the new CEO. The doorman greeted me with a respectful bow, not having the slightest clue that I was the cleaner named Johnson. Walking into the lobby, despite it being business hours, a large number of employees were there to welcome me. At the forefront stood the manager. Welcome, CEO Brown. He greeted me with a grin I had never seen before, sending chills down my spine. Congratulations on your new position as CEO. I am the manager, Anderson. Yes, I know who you are quite well. The manager deepened his smile. I'm extremely honored that you know who I am. But his smile won't last much longer. You're the manager, you should know who I am too, right? Questioned by me, the manager looked perplexed. Of course. You're the son of the former CEO, and after serving as a hotel manager in New York, you've also managed hotels in Malaysia and Dubai, and have pushed our hotel group to be first class. I smiled. But you seem to be trying to drag this hotel down to the bottom. The manager's face twitched. What do you mean? I pointed at my own face. Do you not remember this face? I'm Johnson, the janitor who was told by you yesterday to not leave a speck of dust behind, old man, and cleaned every corner of this hotel. Contrary to my grinning face, the manager paled and exclaimed, "What?" But he wasn't the only one surprised. All the employees here were looking at me with faces of disbelief. When I turned to look at Ms. Roberts, she had her hands over her mouth, eyes wide as saucers. "I'm sorry for surprising everyone. I've been undercover as a janitor for an internal investigation. Manager, may I have a word with you?" The manager seemed to understand why he had been called. His shoulders slumped, and he looked down. The manager had been falsifying and applying to headquarters the personnel costs and expenses he had reduced. Not only that, but he was embezzling the saved money. Apparently, he was squandering it on a hostess he had fallen for. The employees who had reported him to headquarters had complained about the manager's arrogant attitude. This included not only his abusive language and high-handed attitude but also the fact that many employees had been fired, and their days off and break times taken away. Moreover, the hotel's repair staff complained that they had to work under dangerous conditions without being able to purchase proper safety goggles, and that the sheet presser was broken but the manager wouldn't approve its replacement, causing problems. And there was one more thing. He had been working as an accountant, and when he noticed some unaccounted for expenses, he asked the manager about it. But the manager just kept insisting they were necessary expenses, and didn't explain any further. After that, he was fired on the grounds of restructuring. Having heard the story, I decided to infiltrate not only to investigate the manager's attitude towards the employees, but also to examine the flow of money. Mr. Anderson was not only fired as the hotel manager, but also faced criminal charges for embezzlement. I apologize for not realizing that you, Mr. Johnson, now known as Mr. Smith, were the president. Now Ms. Roberts, sitting across from me, bowed her head in deep apology. "Please, lift your head, Ms. Roberts. I am grateful to you." My words prompted Ms. Roberts to look at me with a puzzled expression. "Grateful, you say?" "Yes." Despite such a poor working environment, Ms. Roberts have strived to deliver the best service to our customers. Without you, the reputation of this hotel would have been even worse. I then chuckled lightly. "Though your strict guidance was tough on me." Ms. Roberts again wore an apologetic expression. I told her that from now on, I would like her to take breaks according to the set time, and with the increase in housekeepers, I wanted her to take on the job of guiding them and inspecting their work. "Thank you. With this, I can continue working here." Seeing Ms. Roberts's relieved expression, I continued. "But that's not all. Her current salary is too low for her efforts." I told her that we would raise her base salary and also increase her manager's allowance. "And, Ms. Roberts, you have not been using your paid vacation days. This is an order from the president. Please take some time off and enjoy it with your daughter." I handed Ms. Roberts 2 tickets for a stay and flights to one of our affiliate hotels in Hawaii. "Hawaii! Mr. Joe!" "No, the CEO remembered my story and is making my dream come true." "This is a reward for all your hard work, Ms. Roberts. Please continue to support us." Mrs. Johnson nodded repeatedly, crying. Afterwards, I proceeded with the reform of this hotel, increasing the staff and setting up appropriate shifts. I also purchased the necessary equipment and fixtures, and repaired what was broken. I also reviewed the safety measures. Thanks to the CEO's visit, it's become easier to work. I can now have time with my family. Hearing such voices, I felt relieved. However, it's not easy to regain the trust we have lost from our customers. From now on, I intend to serve our customers with sincerity and gradually build up trust. The new manager is someone I trust, so I'm confident they'll continue to create a good environment for both the employees and the customers. As the CEO, my aim is to create a hotel that's loved not just by the customers, but also by the employees who work there. I intend to grow together